Hi guys, in today's episode of Taylor Talks Trades, we are with Kevin Campbell, the co-founder of Groundworks Scotland. We're talking about starting a business, giving back, and always digging deep. I hope you enjoy. Hi Kevin, thanks for coming on. I'll start where I always start. How did you get into the trade?
Yeah, so it started off my uncle's business. He used to have a construction business, originally based in London, then moved up to Glasgow. So that was when I was around about 13, 14. So managed from there, just typical sort of 14-year-old wanting money. So say my uncle would take me out at the weekends. It was a joinery and sort of plumbing business, and it turned into an old trades business. So from there, after 14, going to do sort of Saturday, Sunday shifts with my uncle. My granddad was part of the business also. And then from there, we just went on, organically, was really good at woodwork at school.
Yep.
Went on to do my apprenticeship. I remember the night my apprenticeship opportunity came, I think my uncle turned up at the house. So I think it's a Tuesday or a Wednesday night, turned up about 7 o'clock at night saying the apprentice that had the position for the apprenticeship didn't turn up. So that was his apprenticeship done, and I was going to school the next day, and just say that was me finished. So that was around about just going into 6th year.
Yep.
Went in, filled all the forms, away next day.
Were you glad to leave?
It was one of them ones where I think my friendship group at the time was they were in the year that he just left.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt that I didn't really have anyone around me. So it was like the perfect opportunity for me. Yeah. And at the time, at that moment, really wanted to be a joiner. And use the skill set that I had. So left there and done the apprenticeship. Yeah. From there, we just did sort of houses, done them up. I always remember a job that we did. It was a house in Glasgow. Originally put the quote in to do all the plumbing and all the work. The guy wanted to do the plumbing works. Sat there, I'm looking at a rad, just making sure all the pressure's there, etc. And next minute, my uncle switches it on. Now this guy done all the plumbing. Switch it on. Next minute, water comes right through his light bulb, smashes it right next to me, and the water is going everywhere. Shutting the valve off, and then quickly trying to get like buckets and everything, hammers out, smashing the ply and everything. So it ended up actually cost them double. So it's probably a lesson learned from DIYers out there. Pay the guys in the trade, see if they actually do the job. That was
a good welcome to you as well.
Yeah, I think that was actually like the second week.
It's always the same. All the crazy stuff starts right away, and you go, "Whoa, is this what it is?"
Yeah, no, that is it. So as I say, it's really good. It was a good sort of learning experience for me in terms of, learning your trade, and that's why tradesmen exist. We know our skill set to do that, but you will get the odd DIYer. They've got their place, but as I say, it's specialist stuff. But yeah, as I say, that was that. Ticked over, and then we just went through. I was around about 2008-9, and he just went through a period of just sort of a couple of wee bad jobs went, and then with the recession in 2008-9, unfortunately, sort of the business was no more.
Yeah.
So we kind of got to a point where we had to make that decision, and say that at that moment really sort of went through a couple of months of just sort of not really getting on. Last I seen him, it just went through me pretty much, and told me I wouldn't really get anywhere in life. So that kind of, from there, that gave me that drive.
So that was your uncle said that? It was quite harsh with you?
Yeah. As I said, I remember that moment. It sticks in my mind. But from there, that moment, I thought, I'll show you now. I'll generally make something of my life here.
Bit of fire in the belly.
Yeah, so that was it. From that moment on, I think that a switch went off on me. So I realised very quickly I wanted to get back out to site and do that. So I kind of just fell in love with construction at that moment. Yeah. But because I didn't have my apprenticeship tickets, I couldn't get onto site apart from being a labourer. Yeah. So went back to college to try and do a multi-trade course. Yeah. And one of the lecturers at that point that knew me from the apprenticeship says, "Look, you're young enough, move over to construction management if you thought about that." Hadn't really gave it any sort of thought, to be fair. I think when you go through school, college, you never be told about your project management or construction
Nah,
management.
true, aye.
You kind of really, what's always in front of you is just the trade route.
An apprenticeship as such, aye. No,
Yeah.
that makes sense, aye, definitely. Good point.
Yeah, so say from there, and right, okay, gave it a wee thought, went, oh, well, you'll go for it. Went into the class. I remember being like probably one of the youngest guys there. Most of it, I think, comes in from, especially when you do the HNC, it's guys on day release. So it's guys that are maybe, sort of 30, 40, sometimes 50, and they're looking to maybe get off the tools and into the office. So I'm sat there with a rabbit in the headlights a little bit. All these guys have all this experience, and you feel like you need to kind of, know what you're talking about.
Yep.
As much as I had my joining experience, you just feel like you're dead quite a lot. So it took me maybe about a good, say, 6 months to really find my feet again and learn all the management side.
It's good though. You really took yourself out of your comfort zone there, so quite commendable actually.
Well, that's the thing. I think it really does daunt on you when you're young and you think to yourself, genuinely in a couple of years' time, I'll be overseeing projects, not so much as like an overall, but it's certainly supervising guys. And it's a big responsibility to.
And did you learn enough of these guys though? Did you find them to be quite helpful, or what was the situation there?
Yeah, I tend to find that we ended up having like a little cluster of us that probably suits out the journey. And even now, so just probably around 10 years now, there's still a group of us that still talk. Some of them have worked with me over my career, so say we're all still in touch, and we just kept that core there. And to be fair, most of them have all kind of looked after me, and like any time I phone them, they're there for advice because they've got that experience. So it's really good to have that support network, see, within the industry. So from there on, went through sort of the college route. Got to my end of my HNC and got an opportunity with a principal contractor to start off as a construction planner. So did that for a couple of months, and then that position got made redundant, unfortunately, within it. But they had an opportunity to go into the site engineer route. So done that, sort of followed that, but that role took me into more office work. So I really kind of learnt my trade more in terms of construction management, more in the office, learning the systems, constantly chapping project managers and contracts managers' doors. Is there anything I can do? I've done my work. Is it you need help out with any commercial work? Really just learnt that. And then from there on, I think I knew, and they kind of knew, that I needed to get out to site and be a proper engineer. So I went down that route, and that's where I really learnt. I was really good at the systems and the paperwork, out on site, dealing with the guys, attitudes and people management. It's one skill set I think that it's taken me probably years to really learn, especially when you're young. People, older generation, do not want to listen to you. So why are you telling me how to do this job? And it's one of them ones where I'm really just looking at it from a cost point of view. It needs to get done in that time scale. Just get it done. So it's one of them ones where once you buy into it, it's the same. When I was at that principal contractors, it took me about 6 months. I get given 2 squads to do work. They were kind of underperforming a little bit in terms of like paperwork, but see, after 6 months of toing and throwing, and then finally seeing the madness behind the methods, they finally bought into it, started doing their paperwork, and then they had like league tables, and these squads for the following 2 years, were top of their charts for like safety reports and everything. So I think if you get the guys on board and you create that culture, even though we're working for a massive company, you create that little bubble of you, and they really bought into it. And then because I got them on side, you start to get noticed a little bit for managing them. And we created a really good team. But say it was one of them ones where kind of I felt I was like growing and ready for my next challenge. So say I kind of moved on from there, worked done a bit of contracting for a little bit, and then again sort of had a job that was meant to last 18 months, 2 years. That stopped.
Was this like a freelance sort of idea?
Freelance contracting, sorry. So that got cut short due to sort of issues with the site. And I was sat there around about August, September time when you really need to lock in a contract for the winter. Gone. So literally, I think that was probably the most humble experience I literally went 3 months, no work. I had to work at Domino's doing deliveries. And at that point, my oldest daughter, she was just born. She was only a couple of months old. I thought, construction on the phone constantly to recruiters, and just nothing was happening. It was the time of the year. And so I always remember that, actually, just like living off Domino's effectively at night. It was a good job, but as I say, and it ticked us over. But that really humbled me in terms of you can have all the money in contracting, but it can very quickly go. Yeah. So I see that with my sort of going back to my uncle, and then at that moment in time, that if I needed humbled at any point, because I think when you're young and you get a really good bit of success, you feel really good in your early 20s, you're smashing it. Yeah. But at that point, it's like, I know now, looking back at my early 20s, I'm like that. You knew nothing, and you're just riding on that wee bit of success you got. Yeah. So finally got an opportunity with another contractor, and then that was there for a couple of months, and then I got an opportunity of a lifetime with another contractor to go in there, sort of site manager, and then that followed into sort of getting my big opportunity to be a contracts manager. Mm-hmm. So from there, because you got that humbling, you literally that's when just a light bulb went off. I was working everywhere under the sun, really going for it, and just showing really what I can do. They listened. They were sort of open to system changes and everything, and really sort of putting that. So it's the first place I ever went where everything I'd learned up to that point, and even doing the contracting. I think what's really good about contracting, especially for younger people, is you go around quite a lot of companies, and you can pick up the good bits of that company, and you end up basically. I think when I got to that point, sort of 5 years ago, I kind of picked up so many good little things that I thought, if I can put all that stuff together, I've got something here. So thankful the opportunity was there. Put all that stuff together over the years, and really good sort of senior management support with them and the directors, and really good mentorship, and got that big break. Built a team sort of under me, and sort of started to get noticed a little bit more, and and do a really good job. So yes, that took me up to pretty much maybe up to sort of tail end of last year, really.
That would have really built the confidence then, because you'd had a couple of knocks there that could have probably just, a lot of people just give up and just kind of go back into a bit of a comfort zone, but you just took it on board and went for it with the Dominoes and stuff, and done what you needed to do. And that's commendable, because sometimes you've just got to do what's needed, especially with a young daughter and that there. So no, that's good, and then good to see how you actually started to get a bit of respect as well. And do you think that was because you'd got a wee bit older, or do you think it was actually just because you were putting all them bits together, like you said, and then they could just see he's doing a good job? I
think what happened, see, over that 3 month period, you're really soul searching, going, this construction's for me. What have I done to kind of deserve this a wee bit? And really going, what can I do here? Am I trying to get shown something here? So I went through a wee bit of, naturally, I think you get a wee bit of a depressive state. Your world's crashed. So I kind of went through a wee bit of just going like YouTube and try to search for a bit of like guidance and motivation. Mm-hmm. And at that point, I was around sort of 25. I don't know if it's just an age thing at that period in your life, or I just got a wee bit of like motivation, and seen that you can hit rock bottom and look at successful people, and have that. So I just use that really to harness all that motivation, and just use that to get going. Really
brilliant. And so that took you up to sort of tail end of last year. And then what's the situation with Groundworks Scotland then? So this is your newest venture, and
so this has kind of been in the pipeline for about sort of say 4 years roughly, and doing sort of when going sort of principal trying to get that contracts manager role, I thought it was only good to go back and give back to the college. So one of the lecturers in there, he looked after me when I was there, and I felt it was only right to give back. So I managed to get a summer placement scheme set up. Went into the college and gave a placement, and that's where I met Sean, my business partner. Went in there and just he stood out for the get-go. If you know Sean, he just keeps talking and just doesn't shut up. But it's like you do love him to death in there, but he'll just keep asking questions and questions. Yeah. So as I say, he came along with a couple of guys to interview, but we kind of just clicked instantly. So, so even from that moment, I even still had interviews, but I knew he was the one to come in, and he came with experience before, so he knew the industry. He'd been a foreman, and he was just looking to get into that site management role that I could give him. So he came there, and we just clicked over that summer. Really, both share the same sort of ethics around hard work, and I think a big thing for us is really we've both got families. I've got 2 girls and he's got 3 boys, so it's always like boy versus girl a little bit with us. But as I say, that's where it all kind of really began. Everything just clicked, and I think along with life, I think you just click with some people, and it just works. He's kind of very sort of good on the ground, knows that side of it. So that's where my weakness is because I've not spent years and years on the ground. And likewise, I bring all the sort of the commercial side and the business side. So it's kind of like, what his strengths are my sort of weaknesses and vice versa. So it really does work. So so we kind of got to the sort of tail end of last year, kind of like talking, and then just at the start of this year, we're just like, we've always thought, we'll get into the business, never get the right time. But I think with the pandemic also, I think that really kind of opened up everyone's eyes. If you're never going to do it, when are you? So so it kind of just basically, he phoned me, says, let's just pretty much go for it. And then from there on, it wasn't really a thought. For the first time, I think we didn't sit and debate it, the pros and cons. It was just, let's go for it. The opportunity's there, let's go for it. And then say, so, here we are on almost sort of 3 months now, sort of trading. We took about a month to get everything all set up. But the main thing from us is taking that time. So say the Groundworks Scotland, our sort of slogan is always digging deep. It's a wee bit of a play on, it's a groundworks company, we dig holes. As I say, there's more to it, is the whole sort of...
this story you're telling us now, it sounds like you had to dig deep a few times, so it's quite relevant.
That's the thing, so it's all about, company work, dig deep, put the graft in, leave it all out in the park every day. And we just want to create a place where, we've got the best guys, they work hard, and they get, and do that, they'll earn, good money. We're trying to just create a company where I think everyone's like, it's like a race to the bottom. I think even more so with the pandemic. I don't know if it's a split between people just trying to survive, or it's just, I think when you're, especially at that starting out level, there's that temptation to just be cheap. And we've had people come to us and they're sort of a wee bit surprised the fact that it is. We're not the cheapest, but nor are we the most expensive. But I think that just comes from more my background and sort of
knowing how to price a
job and and doing that. So as I say, that the culture is really work hard, sort of dig deep every day. And just have a bit of grit and drive about you, and we'll look after you at the end of the day. So say the big thing is what to bring guys in, and women. Is father of two girls, so it's got a really big push on women.
Definitely.
For them. But as I say, really want to basically drive sort of young people into the business. Guys, I keep saying guys and sort of women.
I call guys also, and girls guys anyway. I always say alright guys, and it's like I didn't actually mean men, I just mean guys. So it's I get it.
No, that's it. So so just want to bring people into the business, give them an area where they can learn, really hone in on their skill sets. They might come in as a ground worker, machine operator. It could end up being, the next contracts manager, over the
So you want to create a pathway as such?
I really want to connect with the big goal here, is we need to get established first. But as I say, once we do, it is recreating the doors, going into the colleges and universities and bringing graduates in and giving people that opportunity to grow effectively, having development plans in place and really honing in on people's skill set. So I think people also don't know the skill set that they actually have, and I think also a lot of people probably don't know they've got that drive about them. Sometimes, a bit like myself, you just have a bad turn of luck and it flicks a switch off on you due to circumstance. But I think a lot of people, especially when you're younger, you kind of you go through that period. And I think maybe around that age when I was 25, you really do find yourself and you get to know who you really are. And for me, it was just about that, hard work. And it even goes back to when I was a teenager working from uncle. My granddad's always been that way. Get up, goes to his work, looks after the family, etc. And it's just something I think you just learn from it.
That's a good message. So it's like it's probably what I'm picking up for what you're saying is that there are a few messages in there, but definitely if you work hard and apply yourself, you can make a success of yourself. And probably a big one is no giving up, because you've had a few knocks there by the sounds of it, and you've, as the value says, you've always dug deep, and then you've got back on again. And it sounds as though you're got a lot of gratitude for the people that did actually give you the chances, though, because I can feel for you the sort of passion that you actually want to give back into the colleges and into the unis and give people this chance. And it's almost like you, with Groundworks Scotland, you're almost trying to create maybe what was missing out of some of the things that you'd seen, and you've just almost built this sort of putting all the bits of the puzzle together, all the good experiences and bad experiences, and learning from them, and then building that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's just that putting it all together, everything that I've learned and built to now, and I don't think we'll stop learning. The business will evolve, people will evolve, systems will evolve. It's just, I think the day you stop, we're all learning at the end of the day. Even Taylor Roos, from where you probably started the business to now, you probably never thought where it is now.
Yeah, so, exactly. And then you I think what I've enjoyed about the podcast as well, it's getting people on, and like some of the business owners that we've had on have been in business for quite a long time, and you sometimes go over that story, and this is a good opportunity to actually look back and see how far you've come, like even for yourself, like Groundworks Scotland's new, but when you look at your journey there, it's giving you a chance to actually speak about it and show people what's actually possible, and that's probably for myself and probably a lot of business owners, we never really stop and look back and go, well, look how far we've come. And I'm really guilty of just going, look how far I've got to go. So it's good to actually look back and see how far you've come as well. And what's the sort of what's the next steps then? I know that so I checked your website out, and that's looking pretty good. And I seen like you've done a wee bit of a vlog on YouTube. Are you going to continue with that kind of stuff and just get yourself connect with your audience as such? Probably is.
Yeah, I think it's really just getting that message out about sort of digging deep and saying to people there's a new company out there, there's a new option. As much as we've got to, I think the next sort of 2 years are going to be really fundamental for us. Most businesses don't see year two, so for us it's really making sure we get that sort of build that foundation, get that locked in, and then from there on, grow. But I think using specific sort of like marketing, social media, through the website, get that message out, and make sure people know Groundworks Scotland's here.
I would encourage you to do it. I think it can be quite hard as a business owner putting yourself out there and getting on camera and stuff, but I believe that both from commercial and domestic customers, like people do business with people. They want to see who's behind us, what's going on. Obviously sharing a bit of your story of the day gives a big insight into that, and that's ultimately probably why people do business with other people. They'll see that you always dig deep and probably think that's the kind of contractor that I want on my sites, or doing work for me, or if it's private homeowners having you on their property. So it definitely makes sense. And what would your sort of, as a maybe closing message, what would your message be then to anybody looking to try and get into construction or have a go at having a business? What's your sort of, what would you?
Yeah, I think really it's just like, go for it. I think the dream's never going to chase you. You've got to go and chase that dream. I think for young people in the industry, it's a case of, I think stand on your own 2 feet, and also have that support network and your mentorship in there. Learn from that, but don't be scared to stand up and make decisions at the end of the day. Just because you don't have 30 years experience, you still understand the fundamentals, and I think that's the big thing I've learned in my career. Is yes, people have that experience. It could be 30 years of bad experience, also. So it's really just a case of doing that, and just follow your dreams really, and
Yeah.
you'll make something of it.
Yeah, brilliant. No, that's great, mate. Thanks for coming on. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it, and wish you every success in the future.
No problem.
Good man.
Thank you.